stuck here. The cops won't bother me. Alright, squids, this scooter is now ready to do a little bit of a test. I changed the oil, I changed the rear drive oil, I checked the tire pressure, I cleaned the entire thing up. So it is, and I put some stable in the gas as well, and the forks should be a little bit straighter. So much better. It's tracking straight now. Got a fresh oil change, new gear oil. I cleaned up the entire bike. I put stable in the gas tank. It's riding really well. You know, one of the odd things that I've noticed about this bike is that there is no engine check light at all. No engine check light, and that's kind of nutty. That's every bike I've had has had some sort of indication if there was something wrong with the motor. At least now, the big thing really was the fork not being straight, and now it's straight, and I like that. But I still, look at that, it still goes to one side, but it could be just a balancing issue. So if I let go of the handlebars, I probably shouldn't do it with cars coming at me. Yeah, it's I don't know exactly what's going on with the could be something with the tires. The tires could be kind of crappy, and I think they are kind of crappy, but if you let go, it just kind of wants to do a whole thing. It just really just wants to go left. It doesn't want to go straight. Here's the thing, I think 55 miles an hour, that's I think it hits the rev limiter. See, that's what the stutter is. I'm like hitting, I think that's what it is. See, like it just starts stuttering at 55. Now I'm at 60, 60 is just kind of going lurching. I think that's what it is. I think 55 is the when it starts hitting that rev limiter. So, and on these little back roads that are a little bit bumpy, this bike, I mean, this thing feels like a torture rack. I think especially the rear is just so soft, and I don't even know if there's a way to adjust it. Rear shocks, I don't think are adjustable at all. I don't see a way of adjusting these. Yeah, I think they're fixed. I think I would need a different spring in order for this to be better. It looks better than before. It does feel more like a Chinese scooter than it does a Japanese scooter. I think that's the main difference between this and the Japanese one. You really should compare these to the Chinese ones. Like Kymco. Kymco is better quality, it seems, than this. The plastic is extremely brittle. When you have something that's brittle, then yeah, you know, I could remove the plastic and repaint it all, and that might be the thing to do. And it probably wouldn't take too much. It's just a lot of labor. But you know, it doesn't look too bad when you look at it from afar. The plastic though has definitely seen better days. It's a cool bike, you know. I don't think this thing is safer as a motorcycle than a 50 because you have a little bit extra power to get out of trouble. Now the thing is, the Yamaha C3 still is a much better fit and finish bike. Hands down. I mean, you can't really compare it, but when you compare it to the Honda Ruckus, the fit and finish wasn't great, but it's still a little bit better than this. One of the things that's really bothered me is that front end just kind of swerving this way. You see that? It's just kind of an odd type of thing that's happening, and I don't know exactly what's causing that. And we're already at the middle of the gas tank, so when I got it, it was right at E, so the guy didn't even fill it up. Kind of a random cemetery here on this back road. It's near Sunshine, Maryland, the burial ground of the ancestors of the original African American community of Howard Chapel, 1862. I think it's a little bit off, but I don't know. I don't know why it's moving to one side. And you kind of feel it always doing that. See, like it's just, you're always struggling to keep it upright because this thing should be balanced. You know, when I first bought it, I thought, okay, it's just the fork that's tweaked, and it still might be the fork that's tweaked. But the problem is, it's like, look at that. I have to shift my weight all the way to the right to keep it going straight. So if you have any suggestions on what it might be, post up in the comments below. Airplane over there. What the hell are those guys doing with an airplane? You know, I put a full tank of gas and it's already almost on E, so I have to go and fill up. It would be nice if I could hit a button so I could read the trip meter. Who the hell doesn't put that on a bike from 2007? 2007, Jesus. So I am trying to figure out what range does this bike get, because one thing I found is that I didn't fill it absolutely to capacity, but I found that it stays on full for a very long time. And the last time I saw that, I was like, man, this bike gets really good gas mileage. But then when it dropped one notch, that was it. It started dropping almost like as if fuel was dropping from the gas tank, like the gas tank had a hole. Yeah, these little roads are always fun to ride on scooters. This one, Burnt Hill Road, whenever you have a sign like this, it's like that usually means it's a country sign, and they're usually kind of cool. So even this one, Kingstead Road, that's a very fun scenic country road, and usually I like to ride around there. There's really nobody out on the roads, no motorcycles, nothing. But you know, looking at the sky, looks like we might get some crazy storms. You know, when I come to a stop from riding, it does tend to die. Right now it's holding. All right, we got some speed bumps here, so that's always good, because if I commute to DC on this thing, I'm going to be hitting some speed bumps, so might as well try these out. Oh man, it's definitely a lot rougher. It kind of feels like I'll snap the frame in half. You know, the problem with this bike is that it's so small that even though I'm going like 50 or 45 to 50, cars still want to pass you because they can see right through you. This is the Underground Railroad. It's kind of cool just riding through here. I like to take the shortcut. Look at those horses. Those horses belong to the park police, I believe. All of these horses. And this is the Underground Railroad. Well, squids, thanks for riding with me. That's the Genuine Buddy 125. It's a pretty darn good scooter. It just has a few little issues here and there, but it's a very like inexpensive bike. I think you can interchange it with a lot of Chinese parts. It's practically a Chinese bike, but it's from Taiwan, and their quality level is a little bit higher, not by much. You know, Kymco is pretty darn good. I thought the Kymco 500 that I had was pretty darn good, but I got off on the wrong foot with it. That's always an issue when you're fixing bikes straight off the bat. This one, it's a lot easier to work on, so I kind of enjoy that aspect. There goes a guy. I'm actually going over the speed limit, which is kind of funny, but I think guys feel compelled to pass when it's a small scooter, which I don't mind. Whatever. Live your life, buddy. Go ahead. Go to whatever you're doing.